This is part 2 of Behold, the Ingathering of the Firstfruits by the Honorable Yudhe Beit Nun Sophie Yudhe Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
I'm not concerned about the mind that says no man is going to tell me what to do. You're already a liar. Somebody's telling you what to do. So I'm not looking for that rebellious mind that says, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I'm looking for the mind that says, tell me, Yahweh, what you have me to do, and I'll do it. I'm not concerned about the mind that says, I love this old world. I'm looking for the mind that says, I'm tired of this old world and I'm ready for the new world. $500 white men in Washington run the world. I'm promised 144,000 devotees of Yahweh. If 500 men can have the power you see them have in Washington, imagine the power I'm having when I get my 144,000. My Bible tells me that Satan's house divided against itself can't stand. And when I look at the White House, I see division. I don't see 500 men together. I see Democrats on one side and Republicans on another. And they barely get bills through. You know, one half fights, the other half is for, the other half is against. And sometimes it's a split and then the president vetoes it. Override it. Confusion. And with half of them going one way and the other half another, they rule the world. I'm looking for the minds, 144,000 minds that are ready, willing, and able to say, one God, one mind, one Lord, and one time. Praise God. See, those that don't conform don't count. It's those that submit to the will of Yahweh that count. And I'm promised 144,000. Are you one of them? Only you know. If you're one of them, you know it. I'm looking for the mind that say, I know. I'm God's child. Praise Yahweh. I'm looking for the mind that can say to yourself and testify within yourself, I know that I'm a child of Yahweh. I belong to Yahweh. I know it. I desire it. That's what Feast of Tabernacles is all about. And in verse 3, I'm going to bless them that bless you. So even if your enemy wants to be blessed, I'll bless your enemy if they bless you that love me. And if they know you of Yahweh, they'll bless you. I'm blessed. People bless me all the time. I'll bless them that bless you. And you that hook your mind up to my divine mind, I'll curse everybody that curse you. That means I have the power to do both. I have the power to bless, I have the power to curse. Now that makes me a wonderful God. I'll bless you, and I'll bless everybody that bless you. Now isn't that a wonderful, wonderful Father to have? That's how I love you. That's how I use my power. I'll bless everybody that bless you. And if they don't like you and curse you, I'll curse them. People that don't like me will find it difficult to get along with you. That's true. How can two people walk together except they agree? How can two people unequally yoked prosper together? Husband and wife don't trust each other in nothing. They both go to work and each have a separate bank account. If they have one bank account, one wants to write up all the money. He wants equal access to your money. Yeah, boy, when they're scheming, it's rough, isn't it? It's hard to trust somebody outside of Yahweh. They'll take your possessions from you. And they'll take everything away from you. Because they're not bound by anything but themselves. You end up in the poorhouse. See, someone outside of the will of Yahweh, he always wants to get the advantage. Always seeks a personal advantage over his brother. He wants to get over on his own kind. Huh? Yeah. They want to get over, make it off you. Wicked people love to know a lot of good folk. That's where they borrow from. Pay you Friday. I'll pay you back on Friday. Friday never comes. You ever notice how hard it is to get Friday to come around? For people that owe you, time seems to just get expanded. It is a blessing to come to know that you are the people chosen to bless all the people on the earth. Isn't that something? You, all of you, the so-called black people of America, you are chosen by the Creator Yahweh to bless all nations on the earth. Now, how can you bless other nations while your condition is cursed? The first thing you need is a blessing. It's hard to bless somebody else and you under a curse. That makes you say, hey, you in bad shape? I'll do bad by myself, baby. I don't need anybody to help me do bad. I can do bad alone. And see, when a wicked person hear you say that, he'll pretend he wants to help you do good. Oh, I'm talking right. I know I'm right. You've seen evidence of it yourself. But How many would like to be able to bless the whole earth? Would you? You'd like to have the power and the wealth and everything it takes to bless the whole planet. You'd like to see peace all over the entire planet. And joy and happiness all over the earth. And no more hunger on the earth. No more sorrow, no more wars, nothing on the planet. You'd like to see that? Guess whose problem has to be solved first? Now how many understand why the world is in trouble? It's because the people who are chosen to bless the world are under a curse. That's obvious to a fool. So, well, that wasn't obvious to me. Well, it didn't used to be obvious to me. Remember, I was worse off than you. But I've come to see why the world is in trouble. It's because the people chosen to solve the problems are under a curse. Themselves. How you are chosen to bring heaven on earth. What do you need first? Heaven. Before you can bring heaven on earth, you need heaven. Where are my people living? Heaven or hell? Hell right on earth. Why is it hell on earth? Because my people living in hell. How will the earth change? When the people of Yahweh change. Simple. Now you have to admit that when intelligent people hear this message, you have to accept it and test it and see, will this work? It's already working. If you can't see it working, you try it. You'll find out it'll work for you too. It's already working. You know, it took a lot of courage to leave a city, cross 3,000 or 4,000 miles of water, come to America where there's no city, and devote your entire life to building something up in a wilderness. You know, if we had had a choice and to come to this land and had a choice and left our great cities in the east and came here to the west and saw this wilderness, we say, hey man, when the ship going back? I'm catching this baby back. Shoot, when is the docking time? I'm going back now. I'm not inviting you to a wilderness. You are living in the greatest country on earth. You get a chance to start with beautiful cities, hotels in it, condominiums in it, highway systems in it, flight systems in it, immaculate transportation systems in it, technology at its height in it. You get a chance to start off with this. All you have to do is just come up out of your mental grave. Take hold of Yahweh's teaching. Just let me make you into a great nation. Just allow me to make your name great. Just allow me to bless you. And you take over your ghetto. And when you take over your ghetto, that means you take over your city. And when we take over our cities, that means we take over the country. And we take over the country, that means we'll have our own ambassadors around the world. And we take over the world, then we rule the world. It's just that easy. See, something is wrong with us between getting excited about the idea and then lose that excitement when it's time to make that idea real. I'm looking looking for the mind that's ready to make it real. Make it real, you have to cut the TV off. To make it real, you have to put the drugs down. To make it real, you have to lay the cigarettes down. To make it real, you have to put the parties down. To make it real, you have to stop stealing. To make it real, you have to stop lying. To make it real, you have to stop backbiting each other. To make it real, you have to stop gossiping. To make it real, you have to be real with each other and yourself. To make it real, you have to stop wasting time and start making time to make the difference. I said, to make it real, you have to stop talking and start walking. To make it real, you have to stop playing and start working. To make it real, you have to stop sitting down and get up. To make it real, you have to stop tearing down and start building. I'm ready. I'm looking for the mind that's ready. See, when it came to making a new world out of America, it wasn't about those who talked about it in England. It's about those that got on the Mayflower and made the trip. And when the ship landed and they saw the wilderness, it's about those that got off and stayed to face the harsh conditions. I'm ready. All of our feasts serve as illustrations of how the covenant has operated throughout history. The covenant. That means, the covenant means an agreement. All of our feasts serve as illustrations of how the agreement has operated throughout history. See, the agreement means it took place between somebody. There were two parties involved. That's what covenant means. Covenant means an agreement was made between two. And the two was Israel and Yahweh. And the covenant began in the garden. See, the covenant didn't begin with Moses. You thought the covenant started with Moses. Some of you thought it started with Abraham when he spoke about the 400 years. But no, the covenant began in the garden. It began between Yahweh and Adam. And Yahweh gave Adam the Garden of Eden, heaven on earth. Eden means heaven on earth. And there was an agreement that this will remain heaven for you forever, as long as you dress this garden and keep the laws of it. See, and keep the laws of the garden that make the garden heaven. That's what dress it and keep it mean. And as long as Adam dressed it and kept it, it was heaven. Trouble-free. No problem. And it was so powerful that Adam never knew death. There's no record of death. As long as Adam kept the laws of Yahweh, there was no death in Eden. There was no hunger, there was no pain, there was no sorrow. And Adam was able to walk and talk with Yahweh every evening in the cool of the evening. No matter how far Yahweh went off into the universe or the galaxies, he got back in time to talk with Adam every evening. Now that's some kind of personal God. I mean, Yahweh was going off into other galaxies doing work, but he'd be back every day in the cool of the evening. That's some fast traveling. Especially when you consider the reality that it took the white man's little instrument 12 years to get from the earth out to Neptune. And it took 4 hours to get an image back from Neptune at the speed of light. That means when you consider that the earth is 76 quintillion miles from the sun to the end of its light. I know because I've been there. The end of the light of the sun is 76 quintillion miles. When you get 76 quintillion miles and go one more mile, this sun, you can't see it. And at the speed of light, you can divide that up at 186,000 miles per second, and you can determine how many seconds, minutes, hours it takes to get from here at the speed of light to the end of which this light is. Now, traveling at the speed of light, there's no way in the world Yahweh could get way out there past that, especially the Orient and Pleiades, and do some work and then get back before the sun go down. Traveling at the speed of light. Couldn't get that done if the mother plane only moved at the speed of light. So that proves that I am not bound by the speed of light. My power of thought is faster than anything you can measure. You can't even measure my thought. Because I can think Pleiades and back before you can think about it. I can be there and back before you think about it. I can go all the way out there and be back. Before your mind can consider, I went out there and got back. That's the kind of God Yahweh is. Isn't he marvelous? Isn't Yahweh marvelous? Now you have to admit that I have the power to make your name great. When I came to Miami by myself about 10 years ago, and didn't nobody know me. I'm known all over the world. I'm known. And I'm getting better known every day. We're growing. People want to rule. What a blessing. Now there was a covenant made between our fathers and Yahweh. That means an agreement was made. That means that there is a reciprocal relationship between Yahweh, his immediate family, and then the people of the earth. He didn't leave the earth out. It's just that the earth will be blessed through you. It's an order, you know. It's just an order. It's Yahweh, his anointed, and then the earth. It's called theocracy. Yahweh, his son, 420 elders, Judah, then the other 11 tribes, the 144,000, then the 100 million, and then the millions. That's the order. And that's the way it's going to work. I'm here establishing it to work that way forever. That's how long this is going to last. And I'm setting my house in order, and some of you know I am. I'm structuring my house to function forever. Some of you know I'm right. And if you don't understand, you just have to get involved to understand. There's still a reciprocal relationship between Yahweh and all the people of Israel. Now, reciprocal means that it goes two ways. It means that Yahweh made us a promise, and we made Yahweh a promise. Yahweh made us two promises. We made Yahweh one promise. See, Yahweh was smart enough not to make one promise. So he knew to make two, because he knew you. That's why Yahweh made two promises, because he knew you. You only made one. So Yahweh gave you the opportunity. He said, now, here are my laws. Here's what I will do for you if you obey my laws. Do you want them? And my people said, yes, I want them. Yahweh said, well, wait a minute now. Before you get to hollering, I want them, I must also tell you what I'm going to do to you if you don't keep them. Let's turn to Deuteronomy 28 and see this is part of, this is the agreement right here. Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 and 2 is the first promise Yahweh made. What's so beautiful about Yahweh is he keeps both of them. And we have proof that he has the power to keep both. Verse 1 and 2 read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God Yahweh will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh.
There's no blessing you can think of that will not overtake you. You can't outrun the blessing if you keep his law. Isn't that a wonderful God? That's a wonderful Yahweh, isn't it? Now let's jump over to verse 15. Verse 15. Read.
But it shall come to pass, If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, if you want to know the blessings, you read from verse 1 through verse 14. You want to know the curses, you read the rest of that chapter. And he goes about 68 verses or something there. Yeah. I mean, he has 68 different curses for you. Minus 14. 68 minus 14. What is that? 54 curses. That's more curses than I want to have anything to do with. Y'all, see, now, here's one thing about the agreement. There's no way for you to get from under. You are going to enjoy one of these forever. It's really up to my people. It's up to you. But you will not escape Deuteronomy 28. You nor your children forever will ever escape this chapter. Known to you or unknown to you, whether you are aware of it or unaware of it, you still will get these promises. Now, it's horrible to get beat up with curses and don't know why you're getting beat up. And you lay up at home and holler, oh Lord, why me? Oh my God, what did I do to have to go through this? I'm a good person. And it seems like everybody wants to take advantage of me. All I did is good. And for my good, I get beat up on and taken advantage of. Oh Lordy. Have mercy on me. It gets so bad you can't interpret it. You just groan about it. Yeah, the Lord understands why you're suffering like that. He did it to you. I want you to know who it is that's causing your hell in America. It's Yahweh. What? You mean all the hell I'm catching is from Yahweh? Right. See, he promised you that he'd let all these curses overtake you if you didn't keep your part of the agreement. You made an agreement. I didn't know Yahweh. How could I make an agreement? See, your fathers did. Deuteronomy chapter 5. Yeah, verse 3. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at, don't be telling me about you didn't do it. I didn't know Yahweh. How could I do it? Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3. Read.
The Lord Yahweh made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day.
He made a covenant at Mount Horeb in verse 2. That's where the location was. See what you did? Boy, if I knew it was going to be this rough, I wouldn't have done that. You know, then you just been among the other nations catching hell because you out of place. See, the only way the other families on earth can be blessed is you keep the laws of Yahweh. Because it's in you that the families of Yahweh are blessed, the families of the earth. Now you see why they hate you. How many understand why all nations hate a nigger? You didn't understand before tonight. You know now. See why they hate you? You're the reason they're catching hell. Every chance they get a chance to beat your head in, that's why they beat your behind. Nigga, you got me catching hell. I'm not getting no blessings because of you, you nappy-headed, you nigga. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. See, nigga, he beat you worse then because you don't know who to call on. He won't beat you at all if you call on Yahweh. Yeah, see, go back to Deuteronomy 28. It's all right here. Let's look at 28:25. Read.
The Lord Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
You scattered all over the earth. In every kingdom, there's a nigger. I don't care where you go on the planet, you will see some niggas there. Look just like you. You go to South America, I don't care where you go, you'll see somebody look just like us. Act like us. Stupid just like us. On the bottom, just like us. Yahweh said he would do it. Why? You broke your agreement. How many admit that our children have been taken over by others? You admit it? Okay, let's look at verse 32. Deuteronomy 28, verse 32. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
No strength. You talk about getting together and you can't get together. Verse 41. Read.
Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Why? Because you didn't keep your agreement. Because you don't keep the feasts. Because you don't keep the laws, that's why. How many have wondered why the Japanese, the Koreans, the Cubans, and anybody can come to America and get up high above you in your own neighborhood and you're unable to do anything about it, and you just go to them and go to their store and spend every dime you can with them and won't spend with your own kind? How many have just really wondered about that? Why is it? They come to this country and get up high. You've been here all the time and every effort is made to keep you low. Well, verse 43. Read.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee.
The stranger that's in your neighborhood. Within your neighborhood. Shall do what?
Get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Verse 44. Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
No matter who comes to America, you be the tail. You're not satisfied till you're under their feet. Huh? Verse 45. Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
How many want to know why you don't prosper? You say, well, everything, I have beautiful business plans. I have beautiful ideas. I have beautiful proposals. My idea works for everybody else on the planet, and I know the ins and outs of everything, that this just has to work. But yet when I put it forward, for some reason, it just doesn't seem to work. How many would like to know why you just don't prosper? You want to know? Well, I'll show you. Verse 29. You will see the word prosperity. Verse 29. Read.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man shall save thee.
Now you know why see, you got it? You can't prosper. Yahweh said you will not be allowed to prosper. You get up and you get knocked down. You work day and night, and when you look at your bank account at the end of your life, nothing's in it. How many see why? We didn't keep the laws of Yahweh. We didn't keep our part of the agreement. He said this would happen. He didn't lie, did he? See, a God, a man that can bring curses up on you like this is the kind of man you want to be on the good foot with. You want to be able to do it on the good foot. You know, you want to do this in the right way. You want to be able to do the right thing. Because doing the wrong thing, look what happens. This is rough, isn't it? Verse 58 is important. All of this is important. Verse 58, all about the name. Read.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God Yahweh.
This means you enjoyed all these curses up to verse 58 because you didn't know the name. Now I'm on the scene, alive in your face, teaching my people across America the name Yahweh. All over America, you and I have testified to our neighbor and relatives and friends and people in the city that Yahweh is God. How many of you have testified in your city to people that Yahweh is really God? You have done so. Then they can't say, my people that are suffering drugs, AIDS, and all kinds of disease and plagues are suffering because they won't do what? They won't fear this glorious name. This name, Yahweh, your God, Yahweh, will bless you if you receive his name and live according to his plan. He will bless you. I'm your testimony. I'm your witness. I'm your example. I am blessed. You can't say I'm not blessed. I look blessed. Don't I look blessed? I dress blessed. I wear blessed. I feel blessed. You can be blessed too. All these blessings that I'm enjoying are ready to overtake you. I'm showing you how you get it done. This is the secret formula. This is the secret recipe. I'm also showing you how you lose everything you get your hand on or never get your hand on anything at all. Is you don't keep your agreement. And that's what this feast is all about. The fact that I'm keeping the Feast of Tabernacles, Passover, Feast of Weeks, is a sign to the world. The fact that I'm keeping the seventh day holy and not the named day of the week is a sign to the world. Just keeping the seventh day holy by solar time tells the world Yahweh's here, alive and among us today, ready to bless you. And if you won't do it, then let's look down here and see what he'll bring on you. Verse 59. Read.
Then the Lord Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance.
That means we've been here 434 years and we haven't been well yet. Verse 60, read.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Now all that you saw happen back in Egypt, then you look around, you'll see all of that going on in America right now. Read on.
Which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
All the sickness is sticking to you. You have everything. High blood, low blood. I mean, it's rough to have high blood and low blood at the same time. You got high blood and no blood. Low and no. They stick a needle in some of your arms and get nothing but air. Veins collapse. You have gout. Tumors. Cancer. Cataracts of the eye. Blindness. And you look for a magic pill for everything. You have chlamydia. You have gonorrhea, superrhea, syphilis, teeth falling out, hair falling out. You have bunions and corns. Can't hardly walk. You swell up all over. Everything swell up. Your baby's born with big heads. Baby's born with little bitty heads. Hydrocephalics, neocephalics. Some of you have just nuts. You hypochondriacs. Some of you have every disease there is, and then you go out and look for some. Is that the latest? I think I got that. Some of you have already had everything cut out. Something's wrong with your mouth. Sores break out on your lips. Sores all in your eyes. Sores in your throat. Some of you are bleeding in the stomach. Ulcers and pain and gas. Water on your brain. Everything imaginable, you got it. You suffer from hogitis. Some of you suffer from pigitis. Pigitis is a suffering. It's really rough. Some of you even have swinitis. Some of you even got a swine flu. Right? It's written right. Yahweh said, you won't worship this name? You won't worship this glorious and fearful name, then you'll get all the diseases that you're scared of. How many know some diseases you're scared of? Well, if you don't hurry up and serve Yahweh, you're going to get those. Verse 61, it's rough when you turn your back on Yahweh. Verse 61, read.
Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So when you come to me and say, Yahweh, then Yahweh, I got some stuff the doctors don't know about. I say, yeah, it's right here. See, Yahweh said you would get these. They have to make up a new name just for you. That's some kind of curse, isn't it? Unwritten diseases that see, Yahweh's not a man to play with, boy. This is serious. Until you be destroyed. Now, you admit, it's 60 million niggas in America. But it won't be 60 million long. See, I went around the country 2 years in a row myself and testified, Yahweh is God. Came in buses and we walked in areas where you're not supposed to, smart people don't walk. We walked anyway, telling everybody Yahweh is God in this country. There's not going to be many of you left. Verse 62, let's see how many you're going to be left. Read.
And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God Yahweh.
I'm here now. Where are my people in the city of Miami? Where are they tonight? They know about these feasts. Where are they? Where are they in your city? They know about it. Well, they're going to be few in number, huh? That's why they're all on drugs. They're trying to find me. Everybody taking drugs is trying to find me. What's he trying to do? Get high. He wants to feel good. And he wants to have no troubles. So he get high for just a few seconds and have more troubles than he ever dreamed of. His trouble just starts as soon as that high is gone. He'd be chasing that high. Huh? When all you have to do is come to Yahweh and you have an eternal high. And it costs you no pain. Let's go to the next verse and check this out. Read.
And it shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught.
Bring you to nothing, zero.
And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
hear? You read? You understand? Yahweh rejoices to do you good now. He rejoices to do you good. And so he just enjoys it. If you do what? If you keep his law. He said, but he's going to have a good time over you and your suffering too. When you say, I don't want you, Yahweh. Later for your laws, I'm going to do my thing. You go your way, Yahweh. You go Yahweh, I go my way. Now you think Yahweh's going to say, oh, please. Don't think like that about me. Yahweh's not helpless. Yahweh's very clear. You having a good time rejecting me? I'm going to have a good time and rejoice when your calamity comes. When all these things come on you, he said, I have a good time rejoicing over you, multiplying like the stars of the heavens, having children that are good and happy. Today, if you see a baby out of your community that's black, you are lucky. You didn't know that, did you? They get you every way they can. They get you with birth control, phone. They scare you to death with AIDS so you can put a rubber on. Y'all scared to go without a rubber? Put on a rubber that no baby can have. You scared of AIDS. You go without the rubber, you might get AIDS. Huh? So when you put on the rubber, there's no babies. That's the end of your future. You're working for nothing. You don't have no kids to leave it to. Huh? And then if you have one or two kids, they get on drugs. Wipe out everything that you have left. Rough, isn't it? See, Yahweh said all this will happen to us. Why? Because we turned our back on it. We didn't keep his law. They don't just get you through foam, they get you through suppositories. They get you through a rubber. They get you through tubal ligations. Huh? Vasectomies. What else? IUDs. The pill. Diaphragm, you take the pill, you start losing your hair, going blind, your brain start going crazy, you start losing fluids all over your body, and you start dripping and draining places. You be wondering why you dripping and draining, and then you're going sterile. When you finally get ready to have a kid, you can't have one. Then you get cancer, you have to cut off your titties because you took the pill. Why you want to take a pill? Because you want to get around having what Yahweh say have when you have it. You want to try to beat Yahweh at the game. So he cut you off. We all understand what's going on? All these diseases designed to get you down to nothing unless you turn to Yahweh. So your enemy, he goes into the chemical laboratory, he goes into the scientific laboratory, and he comes up with 1,000 different ways to help you be reduced to nothing. Because he figured if he can get rid of every one of you, he can come out from under the plague and maybe Yahweh will accept them as his nation. That's why white people try to get rid of you. They figure if they can kill off every single nigger, then Yahweh will accept some other nation as his people. Because we have been rebellious. You better be glad I came back for you. Because you would be totally doomed. Now, how many wonder why you serve everything? You believe in all kinds of religions. Let's look at verse 64. You believe and serve other gods, and that's why you're catching hell. Read.
And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Those are statutes. You know how you be going for the statutes and pretend like they got power and St. Jude can save you? All niggas that believe in the stone is catching just as much hell as the rest of them. That's right. Go on to the next verse. Read.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
No ease. Oh, I'm just catching this. It's rough. Yeah, you're not going to find no ease either. None. Read on.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
Read on. You wonder why they beat you and kill you all across America? Why they beat you with bats and shoot you down and run you down in gangs? Next verse will tell it to you. Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
You don't know. How many know a black man's life is in danger in America? How many understand it's getting worse? Was it promised? Is it promised? Why is it like that for black people? Turn your back on Yahweh. That's what Feast of Tabernacles is about. That's what Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread is about. That's what the Feast of Weeks are about. It's to bring to our mind, bring to our remembrance all of the conditions that cause our suffering today and what we can do to change our condition. We have the power to change our individual condition from a curse to a blessing. And I'm looking for the man that's ready to be blessed.